Welcome back to Fashion with Sort Out YouTube channel. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be taking us through how to cut two different types of armhole princess darts. I'm going to be doing two methods, the princess dart bustier and the manipulated one. You see the manipulated one, I'm going to be teaching you so that in case you don't want your dress padded and you want it to look prime and plump, that method will serve you so better. Now, I said I'm using this lining as my calico, my pattern paper. I couldn't access normal pattern paper right now, so that's why I'm using my lining. Now, these are the basic measurements that we will use to make this. The first is my back, and we have back as 14, and then the bust. Our bust is 34. Then we have gap, which is nipple to nipple. I'm trying to explain this so that it will be beginner friendly. And then these are the basic things that you need in doing any dress. So for our gap, we need nipple to nipple, which is 8. And we need our shoulder to nipple, which is our corset, which is 10 and a half. Then we need our under bust length. I have 13 and a half. Then the under bust round, that is 28. For my waist also, I'll be using 28, and then the half length, that's 15. So let's get going. Right now, I said the back is 14, right? So what we'll do is divide our 14 by 2. So since we have 14 as our back, we'll divide by 2, which is 7. Then 7, I won't mark out 7 directly so that at the end I won't be short of it. So I'll add half inches to it as my sewing allowance. Yes. Then I'll come then and mark my chest line. Chest line is where the armhole will be. You understand? That's the cuff where the armhole will be. So I'll make it 8. So um this is the standard mark for it, for normal shape. So I'm marking 8, and then I'll come here then and make a straight line to meet my shoulder. I hope the chalk is clear. Yes. And then with this pattern also, I'll make a cuff. So by the time you have this pattern, it will be easy for you to just make a cuff, as you can see. So right now then, there's a standard, like I said, 8 to 3. So I will mark my 8 to 3 standard. I'll mark half and a half here, and then come here to mark 3. From that 3, I'll make a bend, a slant rather. You know, our shoulder is not straight. So then I'll come back here, mark my corset, which is 10 and a half. Then next thing I'll mark is the under bust length, which is 13 and a half. Then I have the half length as 15. So I added 1 inch to it as sewing allowance. So that I'm not going to make another mark. All I'll just do now is come here so that I will have a straight line. I'll mark the 10 and a half, mark the 13 and a half, and then leave the rest. So I'll just make my ruler to connect. I want it straight. So do you see it? Yeah. So this is our chest line. I have this as my corset. Then I have this as my UB under bust. length, then this is our length. I hope you can see it well. So I have the chest line, our corset, our underbust length, then half length. Underbust length is your shoulder to your underbust, just as it implies. So right now, the next thing I will do now is work with our gap. I said our gap is 8. So now 8 will be, to mark our gap on the dress, it will be 8 divided by 2, which is 4. And then I will make it 4.5, because I'm going to add half to it. Okay, like I have 8 as my gap. I will add 1 inch to it, that's 9, and then divide my 9 by 2, that's 4.5. So this is the 4.5 I will mark out on all the points that I have. Do you see? Let me just use my ruler to make it more bold. I hope you can see it right now. So the next thing I'm going to do is come here. Now, mind you, I told you I'm doing the manipulated one. I'll just come here. You take your paper just like I do, and then you mark it like this. Now I have 9. I have 9 as my round. So I will mark 4.5. That's that 90 divided it by 2. That's 4.5. And then here I will mark half up, then half down. Do you see? All I'll just to do now is take my pattern, cuff pattern, and then yes, before I do that, I'll come up and mark 1. I'll come down under the corset, this corset, and mark another 1. So from here, I'll just come up. I'll come up to the first. You can see the line is not straight. Then I'll come to that same place and make another one to meet the half. Yes, and then do likewise to this one. So for this one, I will make sure I extend it. So then I'll just come here. I hope you are getting it. So under my underbust now, I'll come and mark 1 here, mark another 1 here, then mark half here, and mark half here. I hope you are getting it. We'll mark half 1 at the underbust. At the half length, we'll mark 1 half. Here 1, here 1, here 1, here 1, and then I make the slant to go up. Do you get? So what I will do now is, from that mark that I made, from that one that I marked out, I'll come and come down. Do you see? Can you see the shape? Can you see? So I'll come here now to this point, this particular extension, and mark 1.2 inch, and then now form a new armhole. Reason why I'm doing this is If we don't add this allowance, this 1.5, 1.2 allowance, by the time we join it, there will be shortage at the armhole. So in order to prevent that, that's why we are extending the armhole. So I'm forming a new armhole right now, a new armhole, so that we won't be short of listen after. So the next thing we are going to do is to mark our bed, to mark out our body measurements on it. Now, the first thing we are going to do is mark our bust. Our bust here is 34. So we have that 34 divided by 4, which is 8.5. So right now I will mark 8.5. But do you remember that we made an extension of 1.2 here? I will now come here and then add that 1.2 that added. So this is now I have. So that 1.2 that added, I will join it to it. That makes 9.7.5. 9.75. So that is after I've done this, that's when I've now add my sewing allowance, which is 3 inches. I'm adding 3 inches because I don't like to fall short of clothes, and then also because it's going to be light, so you must make allowance, enough allowance for any unforeseen consi- contingencies. So now I have 9.75, so I will add 3, 2, 3, so that's 13. Do you get? On our corset too, because it's still breast point, it's still the same 13 that will come down. Now, coming here to our UBL, our UBL is 28. 28 divided by 4, that's 14, that's 7. So I have 7. So I will add, this is 7. Then remember here that will mark that 1, which makes what? 2. So plus my 7, I will add that 2 because I'm going to cut it out. So before I cut it out, that's why I'm making this mark. I'll add 2. I've added my 2. The next thing I'm going to add is my sewing allowance, which is 3. So 9, I have 9 already. 1, 2, 3. So this is 12. 12 will come here. So here also the half length. So I have my 7, yes. Then this time around is half. That's 1. I had the 1 here. Then I will now add my sewing allowance, which is 1, 2, 3. So I have 11. I'll just come here and make the cuff straight down so that everything will align at the end of the day. So this is how to cut princess that manipulated this princess that. With this you don't need to pad it, and it will come out well shaped, well curved, prime and plump. So this is this two princess that manipulated princess that. So let me cut it out now for you to see the way I'll cut. So I come to this side and cut it out like this. Then I'll come here. You must be very, very careful here so that and so I have 2 sides cut out already. So the next thing I'll do is cut here, cut here, and then come up here, here. So these are, we don't need this center. So I'll just come up, come up. And then my slants will be cut out also before we now determine what kind of neckline it will be. So we have it cut out now. This is our center cut, as you can see. Then our 2 sides. So this is 4. Can you see it? So we have the manipulated princess. With this, you don't need to add any wording or anything. By the time you finish joining it will just be prime and everything will be beautiful. So I
Right
have
now,
my
we'll
basic
proceed to Princess
body
That
pattern drawn
Bustier,
out.
the one that will be padded.
So I have my basic body pattern drawn out. Next thing I will do now is just like we did for the other one. We'll mark out our gap, which is our nipple to nipple. I said is 8, and I will add 1 to it to make 9 and divide it by 2. So it will be 9. It would be 8 plus 1 divided by 2. That's 9 and 4 and a half afterwards. So I'll mark out my 4 and a half and then join on all the points and then join them together as you can see. I hope it's bold enough. I'm trying to make it so bold so that everybody will see it. So now, just like I did to the other one too, I'll mark it out. I have 9. So I'll mark 4 and a half here, 4 and a half here. Oh, shiki. I'll mark 4 and a half here, then half here. Do you see? So for this one now, the first thing I will do is we won't make any point here. All I will just do is make the cuff from the bikini like you see. I hope you are seeing it well. And then make a cuff A, make a cuff A. I won't bother to make the cuff that comes to this place. I'll just come up so because at the end of the day it's not useful. Mind you, this shouldn't be extended though. It's just this. It's just things that we need. So now what we'll do is here. Remember the other time? Okay, I didn't make the cuff. So this is our chest line. This is our corset. This is our corset. This is our UBL, and this is our half length. So now what I will do now is mark one. Remember the other time I marked 1 but this time around I'm going to mark 1A. I'll mark here 1A, then I'll mark 2A. So the basic thing is what you mark here is the half you are going to mark here. So since I marked 2A, I'm going to mark 1A. And since I mark 1A, I'm going to mark half out here. So you see it. The first thing I'll do is bring my pattern cuff and then make a cuff to join the corset line. Do you see it? Yes. And then same thing here. Do you see it? So next thing I'll do is just bring that curve down. That from that 1 inch, I'll just bring it down and then come here again and bring it down also. Do you see it? Can you see that the difference is clear? That other one, I just make a straight line down, like it's now formed a triangle. But this one, you can see the curve. Do you see the curve? So that is the difference. By the time I cut this one out, now you see how curve that one will be, and this will pad. Now I'll just make my normal measurement, just like the other one. So I have 8 and a half as my bust measurement divided by 4. Then, oh sorry, I'll make an extension here. Now I use 1.2 the other time. I'm going to use 1.1 and a half here. Why? Because I'm padding it. So I'm making extra allowances for the padding. So that's why I made this one and a half. Why I made the other one, what's it called? I made it 1.2. So now, right now, I marked 8 and a half. Then remember it's 1.5 that I added to this. That 1.5, I will add it to it. That makes 10. That makes it 10. Then with sewing allowance, I'm adding 3 inches as my sewing allowance. This will extend down to the corset. Now coming here now, my gap is my UBR, my underbust round measurement is 28 divided by 4, that's 7. So I have 7 here. And remember that we are cutting this out. So I mark 2 here, 1 here, that makes it 3. So to my 7, I will add 3, that's 10. Then I will now add another 3 sewing allowance. Can you see? It's the same thing with our this thing. So now come down here to my half length. Remember I marked 1.5 1 here, then half here. That's 1.5 altogether. And then our underbust, our waist is 28 also. That's 7. So what I will do now is to my 7. I will add this 1.5. That makes it 8.5. Then I will now add 3. 1, 2, 3. That's I'll just make it off and then mark it down in this way. So let me just cut it out just like I did to the other one so that we'll see the difference to appreciate it better. So just like I did to the other one, starting from this place also, and then cut up, cut up, cut up, cut up, up. Then come here. It's better this way, and then you cuff it down. So I have this out. So come back here, and then cut out. So so right now I have this also cut out this way. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? That one was not as wide as this, and the curve isn't there. So this is the basically how to cut princess start post here. So remember that I said I made those extension because it will be padded. So guys, thank you for staying true to the end of this tutorial. I really appreciate you. I have a plan of coming down to the beginner level so that as we are building on it, everybody will understand. It won't be as if some people are not carried along with my cutting. So this is for this today. Thank you. See you in my next tutorial. God bless you. Bye.